10 in the morning. On pole position, it's the 284 of Samuel Harrison. Alongside will be the 233 of Henri Young on row 1. Rick Bouthon on the 293 and William Noonan ran out row 2 in the 202. Juho Parviainen in the 208 and Juuso Panttila is a finish third row. So that's numbers 201 and 288. Svideris in the 221 and Tigerson in the 240 ran out row 4. Friedel and Anderson row 5. Grinerup and Zeifried row 6. Wertele and De Huys row 7. Schneider and Flo Weinreich row 8. And rounding out the 18 strong, it's Rolke and Kovac. So top 10 again, it's Harrison from Young, Bouthon from Newnham, Parviainen and Panttila, Svideris and Tigerson, Friedel and Anderson. That is your top 10. So now it is time for these drivers to get into the formation. So as is customary with this type of racing here in Rotax, we go by a dual row rolling start. So the drivers will have to make sure that they are in the tram lines when they slow to a crawl. And if race control decides that the formation is not up to specification, they will pull the drivers around for another formation lap to help them get it right. I have seen it in karting when I've been commentating in other championships, that I've had one particular time where one race, which was a double file restart, had to have 3 formation laps. But we are in a very competitive European Championship here, and it's going to show that these drivers need to be on point from the word go, from the formation to revs up and lights out. And we will find out. So, top 6, Harrison from Young, Bouthon from Newnham, Parviainen from Panttila. They are being ordered to slow as they come towards turn 11. We are moments away for going green for the Senior Max second chance heat here in the opening round of the 2018 Rotax Max Euro Trophy here in Belgium. So wait for it, as it is going to be electric from the word go. They come round the final corner through the tram lines, red lights on the starting gantry, revs rise, and it's I think that's a full start. That is a full start, so we won't get this underway quite just yet. So looks to be a full start there. So it's going to be they're going to have to reacclimatise now. This is what I was saying as we started the formation lap, that they've got to be on point. There's got to be no mistakes. So this is going to show us who is really, now I know that it's difficult because you've now got to reset, you've got to rewind your thinking process. You've now got to do that mental preparation, which is key for the reaction on the starting line. And especially in a rolling start formation, in any category, there are multiple championships that use a rolling start formation. NASCAR, DTM on restarts after safety cars now employ this type of rolling start maneuver. IndyCar is another one as well. So now we get into formation for the second time of asking. So, on the right-hand side of the track, it's Samuel Harrison and pole. Henri Young alongside, followed by Bouthon, Newnham, Parviainen and Panttila. That is your top 6. And the field has really concertinaed and slowed to a crawl. Now it's to get into position in the tram lines. They have been told to slow. Red lights on the starting gantry. Will we get away for a second time? Yes, we do. And we are off. And whoa, that's a slingshot from right down the order. Kovac has absolutely floored it and went round the outside out of multiple competitors. 3 wide going into turn 1, and it's also the same going through turn number 2. This is electric from the word go, as I mentioned. But I'm wondering who has got the whole shot. Is it Harrison? Is Harrison leading? And he's built, and that's a lead of at least 6 carts going down into turn number 6, a little bit further down the order. There is some side-by-side action. 2 wide going into turn number 6 can happen. But what a start from Kovac. The 244 just literally floored it, but I don't know whether that might be considered as easy enough, because they still have to continue through the tram lines. So I'm wondering whether that might be under investigation. I'm not too sure. So it is who's in the lead of this? Oh, it's Bouthon. Bouthon in the 293 has taken the lead. Harrison in second. Parviainen now up into third. Svideris up into 4th place. Young 5th, Newnham 6th. So Newnham, who started 4th, has now dropped a couple of places. Pontela now down, rounds out the top 10. Rasmus Friedel is in 9th, Tigerson in 8th, Anderson in 7th place. As leaders now come through into turn number 6. Top 3 starting to break away. Then it's a 4-cart train for 4th to 7th position, which is being led by Zvidris in the number 221 with Young, Newnham and Anderson for company. But at the front, going into turn number 9, it's the 293 of Buthorn that leads, with both Harrison and Parviainen very close behind. Zvidris is being hassled by Young and Newnham, with Anderson, I think, just holding back a little. As a little bit of bumping from behind from Harrison, probably just trying to do some bump drafting there, as there's some great slingshot moves going into. Now look at the action coming through for 4th to 7th place. It's a 4-cart scrap, and there have been quite a few overtakes through there. That's immense kart control, knowing where you can place the kart, and if you're in the right position at the right time, especially coming down the start-finish straight, as a little bit further down the order from 8th to 12th place, there's a 5-way scrap there. But remember, top 6 make it through. Top 6 at the moment. It's Buthorn, Harrison, Parviainen, Zvidris, Young and Newnham. But there have been some changes. So I think whether one driver is just outside of the top 6 will be shown very shortly. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go. And it's now Harrison. Harrison has got past Buthorn. Parviainen looks to be in 3rd place. So they come across the start-finish line. So it's Harrison from Buthorn, Parviainen, Young now up into 5th. Zvidris has lost out. Goes down from 4th place down into 7th. So that puts Young, Newnham and Anderson into the top 6. And we still have 6 minutes and 50 seconds, plus an additional lap to go in this second chance heat. And I am not predicting who is going to be in the top 6, because we all know that it can all change. And we saw that in the Junior Max category just a few moments ago. And it looks like Harrison is opening a gap on both Buthorn and Parviainen. That rounds out your top 3 with Young, Newnham and Anderson. With Young now being overtaken up the inside by Newnham, who goes into 4th position round the final corner. Nice move by the 202. And it's still side by side between Young and Anderson. And Anderson is being a bit hung out to dry going through into turn 1. Has to slot behind, takes the outside line going into turn number 2. And is right on the back bumper of Young there. So that's allowed, I think, Newnham to slightly get away, and that's a good kart lead of probably at least 8 to 12 karts lengths for Newnham. Or is that Harrison maybe? So Harrison still leads. The gap last time around it looks to have been extended, I believe. It was just under 0.6 of a second last time around. So into shot comes William Newnham in the 2. This is Samuel Harrison in the 284. My apologies there. Who's leading and extends the gap to over 9.5 of a second. Buthorn now gets passed by Parviainen for 2nd position. And behind them is Newnham in the 202 with Anderson and Young. Now completing the top 6, Tigson, Friedel, Pantila, Grinerup now round out the top 10. So there is a chance, a distinct chance for the bottom 4 in the top 10 to have that opportunity. And and it looks like there's been an overtaking manoeuvre. That's I think that's Buthorn on Parviainen on the exit of turn number 8, going into turn number 9. Nice work by the 293. Or is that the 2? Looks to be Newnham. Is that Newnham in? No, that's and it looks like Buthorn is actually further down the order than I thought. So it is Harrison. Now Newnham up into 2nd position. Parviainen and Buthorn round out the top 4. Then it's Anderson and Young rounding out the 6 drivers that are in contention with 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining on the clock. As I said, it isn't over until they cross the start-finish line at the completion of this race. So timers still counting down. So nice work by the 202 of William Noonan, who started 4th. Now into 2nd, Parviainen in 3rd, Buthorn in 4th. And Harrison is extending that gap, I think, further still. But I'm wondering, is Newnham actually gaining? Is Newnham gaining? Because the gap last time around was just over a second. That gap looks to have been decimated by the 202 as there's further battling down the order with Jung and Anderson nearly clashing, coming through into turn number 11. Yes, the gap has been absolutely decimated by Newnham in the 202 by 0.4 of a second. And the lap times last time around, Harrison did a 55.8, Newnham a 55.4. The pace that the 202 has got at the moment, that's going to make it a key in terms of the starting order from positions 29 to 34. So it's the top 6 from this second chance heat, 1 of 2. So we've had the Junior Maxes already having that with Linus Henson taking the win a little bit earlier on. But your top 6 in contention currently, and I say currently with distinct clarity there. It's Harrison from Newnham, Parviainen, Anderson, Buthorn and Jung. But watch out for the likes of Tigson, Friedel and Pantila. Those 3, I think, are in contention. And as this race progresses, we have around 2.5 minutes plus an additional lap to go. Pantila now up into 8th, having got past Tigson, and Friedel is on the cusp. Rasmus Friedel, who has had an absolute fight back this weekend through qualifying, having been excluded, and now is showing good pace. And in terms of it, Pantila is about 1.3 seconds off Jung in 6th place. Friedel is 0.4 off. We still have less than 2 minutes plus an additional lap to go. So Harrison leads. Newnham has really closed the gap. It was 0.4 of a second last time around. I think it's probably close to half that now as they cross the line. It's 0.2. It's 0.2. The fight for this lead is clearly on. What a great performance by William Newnham in the 202. He's really closed down that gap on Samuel Harrison, who started on pole, and coming through turn number 5. It is now line astern. The battle is on. And Newnham is going to get the toe down the back straight, heading down into turn number 6. And he's really closed up right on the back bumper through the right, left, right into turn 6. Now into turn number 7, the right-hander. Then it's the 90. It's the hairpin at turn number 8. And you can sense that Newnham is within striking distance. We have 60 seconds remaining, plus an additional lap as they come round, and looks like Parviainen is going with them, but I don't know if Parviainen's done enough. They come round the final corner, down the start-finish straight, and crossing it with around 35 seconds to go. It's now just under 0.2. The battle is on between Harrison and Newnham, and this could allow Parviainen into the mix as well, because whilst the 2 in front are battling, and it's happened. Newnham's taken the lead. Newnham has taken the lead away from Samuel Harrison. Now watch out for Parviainen. He could factor into this top 3 very well. And a little bit further down the order, we've had one off. There's one off at turn number 5. And that's compromised someone's chance into the top 6. And I'm wondering, is that Buthorn? Has Buthorn not had the best of luck at the tail end of this race? So Harrison will hopefully, yes, is coming round turn number 10 into turn 11. So Harrison from Newnham, from Parviainen, that's your top 3. And Anderson is in the top 4. Friedel is now in, and Buthorn is on the cusp, and has got about 0.4 of a second between himself and Pantila, Juuso Pantila from Finland. So we are on the final lap of this race, and I have to say, what a great display from William Noonan, who started on fourth on the starting grid. So these positions, where they finish up in the top 6, will decide where they line up on the grid. On positions 29 to 34 in the first of 2 Senior Max finals, which will conclude their first weekend of the 2018 Rotax Max Euro season here in Belgium. And it's just a couple of corners to go. And I have to say, bravo, bravo, William Newnham comes round the final corner. Checkered flag waves for the number 202 who takes the win. And look at the battling up and down the field. There's contact. There's contact. 293. Rick Boothorn was in there. And I think he might be out of the top 6. Yes, he is. He's denied at the line by 0.3 of a second. My goodness. Pantala makes it through. Pantala makes it through. The 2 Finns make it through into the automatic 6 qualifying spots. My goodness. It was going to come down to the wire. Your top 6, my goodness, I can't believe that. I am out of breath, quite literally. And my adrenaline and my heartbeat are through the roof right now. But hats off to the winner of the second chance heat, winner of William Newnham, the 202. Then it was Samuel Harrison in the 284. Parviainen makes it third with Anderson, Charlie Anderson, would you believe it, started in 10th and finished 4th. Rasmus Friedel, that's a great performance. 9th to 5th with Jusso Pantila finishing exactly where he qualified in 6th. So let's run you through the finishing order for what has been an action-packed second chance heat for the seniors. William Newnham and Samuel Harrison make it a British 1-2 ahead of the Finn of Juho Parviainen. Charlie Anderson and Rasmus Friedel from Sweden make up the top 5. And your final qualifier is Finland's Jusso Pantila, with Rick Boothorn through contact on the final corner being denied. And Regina Grinnerup was close as well. What a way to conclude the second chance heats. So congratulations to the British pair of William Newnham and Samuel Harrison. They make it a British 1-2.